it was a point in time, 2018 to like 2020, I was signed to Rock Nation Management.
Okay.
So they did my management. I wasn't like signed to a record deal. It's like, some people think it's the same thing. Management deal, they just manage your affairs, and then record deal, you get the money and they have their whole say in whatever you got going on, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So at a time when I was at Rock Nation, it was a lot of people around me that had like a lot of fake love and fake support for me, and like we're all around trying to find, like, it was just real opportunistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, and at the time I couldn't really like see that per se, like, because I was like wanted to have that. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to have more things going on, so I couldn't really see that people was trying to use me to get to whatever they was trying to get to. You know what I mean? And through that situation. And it's all love to Rock Nation, by the way. No disrespect to them. But like, we had like, when we parted ways, I had to really stand on my own too and have like a whole lot of confidence in me. And that's where Buy Money was formed. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out my guy Law. He had told me like, he's like, you need to lean on yourself and the people around you and your team, and how do you build with those people and how y'all like stretch that, make that stronger. You know what I'm saying? And that's what ended up becoming the idea of Buy Money and the people around me, and learning that like you don't necessarily have to network up, network across, and build a strong foundation with the people around you to where like none of that, like all the fugaziness, all the like, oh, we love you because of this stuff, don't exist. It's more like it's just firm. We're working on something. We got a common goal and we build it. You know what I'm saying? So it like really gave me a place where I had to learn to like push through that, because it was like, like a dream situation per se to some people. And then like it was also like a time where it was like a lot of people were like looking at me like this, and then they looked at me like I fell down or something. And then I had to realize like that's cool. People had their own perspectives and stuff, but it's all about what's really solid in your corner and what you really building. Does it actually exist, or is it just a facade?
I think that's an important message for up and coming artists to hear.
For
Because
sure.
you can grow fast and maybe attach yourself to a label or to a management or a deal like that, or you can also grow independently and just have that authentic support around you.
I was still technically independent with them doing my management, because I'm not signed to a major label. So it's still independent. They were managing me as an independent artist. So it was still like, it's a little different than a lot of people have it. But like at the end of the day, it's like, knowing that like, okay, I have my own team and structure and my own things built for myself outside of that. It's kind of like some artists have like a manager, right? Let's say like they go to like radio stations and stuff like that, and then they go talk to everybody, but their manager is the only person that has the contact. And then let's say you stop working with that person, now you have no contact to all the connections you made. It's like learning to like really build that genuine connection for yourself and have those things no matter what the like thing is that's bright and shiny that makes people attract to you. It's like, what's the thing that actually has real substance and connection?
I like that. Do you think you would be is independent where you want to stay, or do you think you would be open to potentially signing in the future?
I mean, I'm not opposed to any good deals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If it's a good deal, it's a good deal. Like, but currently independent is cool. I like selling direct. I like being able to move in my own motion and do whatever I do. And I've never been signed to a major. So like, this is just the only ecosystem I really know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand the major label system, but I'm just not in it or of it per se. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can't say I would or wouldn't. It's just really like when the time comes, it'll probably be time.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Well, from outside looking in, it definitely looks like it's working out for you. Tell me a little bit about the Buy Money brand. I like the merch you got going on. That look real nice.
Thank you. Buy Money is, it's a label and overall concept. It's a concept, idea, and lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's me getting people to understand that you have to spend money to make money. You have to invest in yourself, which is why it's invest in stocks. Like, it's invest in me, but invest in yourself. Like, it's just understanding that, like, there's a different way to live. And I want to be representation for young Black kids and people that, not even just Black people, but like people in general that grow up looking at all the other examples of life, of like what you have to be, you know what I'm saying? What they make us think we have to be somebody and all that type of stuff. And understanding that like there is representation for you to do something that's not of the norm. You know what I mean? Like, I want, like, when I was growing up, I didn't have somebody I could look at and be like, oh, this dude's rich off like investing. It was like, oh, he was a dope dealer. He was a basketball player. He was this or that. Like, there was nobody that I could look at and be like, oh, he got lit off of this. Like, it's a whole nother way to get to this money. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I just want that to be an example that I could set for the younger people and the younger generation looking at me.
That's dope, and we need that because people don't know it. People our age, younger, older, the
Exactly.
information. And I know you said everybody, but especially in our culture, sometimes the information resources aren't there, or I won't even say they're not there because everyone has the internet. So I guess they're there, but it's like the knowledge isn't there to go where to go.
You got to ask the right questions to get the right answers. And it's like, if you don't know what question to ask, there's no way you're going to get there. You know what I'm saying? I won't say no way because there is a way, but there's like virtually no way to some people. You know what I mean? To where it's like, if you can't look at me and say, oh, you do that investment thing, like, can you teach me?
Yeah.
I like the fact that people are able to ask me that. I like the fact that people are like, oh, I learned something from you about this. It inspired me to want to go buy some stock or buy some crypto or this and that. That's what gets me excited about it. You know what I mean? Because it lets me it's letting me know that somebody sees it and is like, oh, I'm making it look attractive to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Versus it being like, a lot of people look at stuff like that, like, especially like in the Black culture, we look at talking about money as like unattractive unless you're flexing.
Yeah.
Like flexing is attractive, but if like you're talking about real finance stuff, like how do we build and do this, it's very unattractive to people. Like we're just used to not speaking on it.
Right.
And that's the thing, is like I want us to be more comfortable speaking on it and like telling each other like, no, I found a play like this. This is how you can do this. Oh, word? Well, look, let me put you on this. You know what I'm saying? It's just creating that community of people that buy money.
And those are my favorite type of people, the people who don't gatekeep, because the people who do have the information sometimes will be like, mine.
That's a
Instead of just
scarcity
being
mindset.
like,
Like you got to be
grabbing the
abundant
barrel.
and understand like me putting you on something doesn't stop me from getting money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and if it did, then I sucked at what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I could teach you something and you come back and teach me 3 times over what you learned and now I'm better at it too.
Dang, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? That's really the way it got to be looked at, instead of like, oh, you gonna get my game and run off on it. Like,
Yeah.
nah, bro, it's the economy, money flowing around all day nonstop. Like, how do
There's
you
money
find a
everywhere.
way to do it?
Yeah. How'd you first get interested in money just in general? Like, where did that interest come to for you to find your way yourself?
Well, I was po and I wanted some money because I like girls. And if girls, what do girls like? Things.
Yeah.
And they like you if you got shit together. You know what I'm saying?
fact.
So at the end of the day, I didn't want to be a broke ass nigga.
Yeah.
And then two,
That's
I
a great
mean,
motivation.
my mom works in like tax strategy and stuff like that. So she always like kind of like put me into stuff like that. She's been a CFO at a lot of companies and stuff. So like I learned little stuff from her. Like she didn't like sit me down to like force teach me nothing, but like I paid attention to stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like that's what like got me originally into the, I guess, the idea of it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's dope. So I want to ask you the age old question: does money change people, and how has it changed you?
They say money changed me. It's not that bad. It definitely does. But
Yeah.
it's actually so true when they say like it doesn't change you, it just reveals who you really are. Because like I learned from being at a really low point that like the person that I was during those times is not the person I was when I had a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it really shows you what you really care about.
Okay.
Honestly, it's like how I see it. It's like whenever like if you're having a lot of money, you really get to decide what you really feel like doing, what you really feel like dealing with, who you feel like dealing with, what you want to be around, certain stuff, because you get a different level of freedom to where you're not forced to like have to do certain things.
Yeah.
So then you get to realize like who are you really when you have the access to the world. You know what I'm saying? Like when you just have access to things, that's when you really find out like who are you really. And like I've seen me at the worst place, and that's not who I was.
Yeah.
But I see me when I have a lot more, and I'm like, oh, this is the real me. I like this person more than I did when I was the other person. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it was shown and proven to me from the way I was handling it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a firm believer at like you get more when you know how to be generous and you know how to bless people in certain. It's like a reason God will give you that blessing to make sure that you can spread it. You know what I'm saying? If you're somebody that takes a blessing, you just run off with it, then it's not abundant. It's going to end up coming to an end.
Right.